Well, the war in Iran isn't just a geopolitical crisis. It's hitting Americans right now in the wallet, from the gas pump to the housing market.
Joining us now to discuss, Michelle Griffith is a luxury real estate broker, and Jason Greer is a labor management consultant and founder and president of Greer Consulting. Welcome to you both. Welcome to the program. As the Iran conflict continues rippling through the economy, gas prices are up roughly 60 cents at the gallon since the strikes began. And the Trump administration is now considering suspending the Jones Act, which is a century-old federal shipping law that allows cargo moving between the United States ports to travel on American vessels. I'll start with you first, Michelle. Do you think this is the right move by the Trump administration? What more could we be doing right now in order to diminish some of the effects we're seeing with the spikes in oil prices?
You know, again, as this relates to the housing market, what we're really seeing from a national front is that Americans are priced out of the market. So I think all these types of policies that Trump is taking into effect now, this is really hitting the Americans at their core. And what we're really seeing is that instead of buying your first home, you are now forced to continue to rent. And the two biggest challenges that we're seeing nationally is that inventory is low across the board, and we're still dealing with extremely high rates.
Mm-hmm. You know, Jason, I think the American people are getting an economics lesson of all the drivers that go into pricing, especially energy and all of the derivatives that are derived from crude oil. Can you walk us through the impact and the need for further deregulation in order to balance things out economically for the average working class citizen?
Sir, I'm so glad you said that. And first of all, I love your suit. You're killing that.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's a star
truly. You know, here's what I'll say to you is that I talk to thousands of employees per month, per year. It's amazing to me the number of employees. It used to be we'd have conversations around, I need a raise, I need better benefits. Now you have employees who are actually talking to me about economic hit points. The price of gas is higher than it's ever been. The price of eggs are higher than it's ever been. And to Michelle's point, I can't even afford a house, and I promised my wife and my children that we're going to move out of this apartment and move into a home. So what we're seeing just in terms of the economy, you consider then the latest jobs report, 92,000 jobs were cut from the economy. Some of that has to do, obviously, with the Kaiser Permanente strikes in February. But I think ultimately what we're seeing from employees and from people across the board is they're struggling with the current economics, and they're wondering what's going to happen to us in the long run.
Yeah, sticking with the housing market, Michelle, in a rare bipartisan moment, the Senate has just passed the biggest housing affordability bill in 30 years, including a ban on big investors buying more single-family homes if they already own 350 or more. How significant is this?
You know, this is significant, but again, the housing market is such a complex issue. And I think when we pull it back and really think about the average American who is really struggling to become a first-time home buyer, we're dealing with so many policy issues. We're dealing with the fact to build houses. So our main problem here is supply, and the cost to build is so extremely expensive. So this is just adding to all of these complex issues, which is making home ownership nearly impossible right now for the average American.
You know, Jason, you consult many different people. Some of these people are business owners, but they also have personal lives. They want to buy housing, but yet when you look at the supply that we just mentioned, as well as the interest rates and all of the other issues, like here in New York, they're talking about raising the minimum wage to $30 an hour. So the average small business is under pressure in so many ways in this current economy. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I was just on a call yesterday with a business owner who said, actually, ironically enough, in the state of New York, who said that when you consider all of the policy changes that are going on under the new mayor, all the policy changes that are going on around from the federal perspective, he said that I can't afford, if minimum wage goes up beyond $15 an hour, I don't know if I can afford that. I don't know if that's going to price me out. But I'm also going to say something. And, you know, you brought up President Trump's policies. And if I were speaking to President Trump right now, here's what I would say. Your economy needs a better PR manager because the economy as a whole is still relatively strong. You consider that unemployment has only ticked up to 4.4%. We'd be at a crisis if it's 5%, and we're not nowhere near that. I think ultimately what the American people are asking for is we need confidence. Business owners need confidence. They want to feel like, the job that I have today is the job that I'm going to have tomorrow. But ultimately, we need to move beyond the numbers, and we need somebody to say to us, we're okay. And that's what people are looking for.
So true. And I think we were looking for the two of you because this was a great conversation. Michelle and Jason, happy Friday to you. Enjoy your weekend.
Hey, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you so much.
Coming up, the latest on the war with Iran and what's happening at the Strait of Hormuz.
We'll have more from the Newsmax newsroom straight ahead.